everyone dogs. I'm not a guard, go hop with a squad. I'm playing my part, like I'm LeBron. Rings to the team, I feel Jackson at heart. The homie calling from a cell.
Coach, we're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. 180! 13!
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's Jackson. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Down the man inside.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber that runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd and a couple, Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Wentz now on 1st down. Flush to his right, and now he's going to use his legs. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz, pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Hey, team 6.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And the pressure gets to him again. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
Here we go, here we
The
go, here we go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest play.
Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the...
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
21. Here we go. Let's see. I got you. Motion.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. To throw is Garoppolo. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
They'll give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. They'll run with Coleman on first down. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On first down, here's Breida. He finds an opening past the 40. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
I'm going to come back to you. No.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. 22 yards there, a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Defensively, it was Avonte Maddox with a tackle.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
21. Go.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. With it is Jackson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. On first down, it's Sanders. Give him 5.
Last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. From the 45 on 2nd down, Wentz. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Nick Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Jackson to return. 12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? It might be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And taking it across midfield and inside. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be... The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, don't matter whether it's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. Returnable here from the 38. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Our offense set to get this drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Let's go, D. I got you. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Garoppolo is going to give this to Breida on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Here we go. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
21.
They will run again with Coleman. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
On third down, here's Coleman. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Come on, guys, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Great 15, great 15.
Now Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz eluding the pressure right. Looking deep for his... And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 18. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Hey, alert! 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 Switch! Check! Pilot, 64, weak! Hey, Delta! Hey, gun! Motion! 21. Here we go.
Check 59, Mike is 59.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And he rifles one incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. But it's going to be 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Here we go.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Target. Check 50.
11. Hey, go. 22 jet bombers.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here comes the 49ers punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. A third quarter score now from MetLife Stadium. And the Redskins have scored again to extend their advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
5'9", 5'9".
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Wentz flushed out right, and that is incomplete here. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, it's Wentz. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are back within a single score. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, here we
The
go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
13.
On 2nd and 2, Garoppolo. He's going to fire one deep. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
From just shy of midfield, Wentz. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Oh, a little 360. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. Wentz now on first down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. D Ford has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run. It's Sanders. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. That's caught by Jackson. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. Fourth down. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. So down 6, and they know they need this one on fourth down.
54, right there. Hey, orbit.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the 49ers are going to get the football back.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts.
Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, 76 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
This one fielded at the 5. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of it.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tevin Coleman, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
46 down, man. 5-4. Hang in there now. Hang.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Tighten up, tighten up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Here we go, here we go.
Wentz going to go on 4th down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo looking to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target, deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Gary. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So the victory here for San Francisco. And this, not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer, Tim Karen, said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard Time. Try to psychologically tell us what to do, as well as prepare our bodies the same way.
So for the Niners, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia.
double up at any moment. Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Couple zeros like I'm sending Yale next. Every flow is unmatched and I finish them. Mess around me and I diminish them all. Even if I ever did the minimum all. In the end result, I'm better killing them all. Rogue one, but I got a team with me. Batman when I got a team with me. I get mean, I get green. Never been seen. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more words in the Shawshank.
Designer sneakers, now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, well, watch I eat now. Like how you getting paid to freestyle? Different cities every week now. Now, with state rock, you looking bleak now. I was home to sleep, designing sheets now. 30 different missions, when I speak, they listen. Couldn't find the social fishing. Who the crew, it wasn't you. I know it's true, cause you look like the opposition. Run it up, greatest ever sums it up. I ain't have a lot when I was coming up. Kinda make my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars in the Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars in the Shawshank.
Rick Rock. Tick-tock. West hip-hop. Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden lead. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll it when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden lead. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll it when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it. Big Snoop Dogg, it's in the game.
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and ain't my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back. You say